Hi everyone, I'm Lorenzo and in this video I'm going to talk about Wipeout 2048 on the Vita. Wipeout 2048 is amazing. It's a must-have on the Vita. The game doesn't do the ugly thing I constantly complain about Vita games, that they are just flash but lack substance. This game has substance. You get plenty of events in which you can compete, the game has 10 tracks and 20 ships. And you can install 2 DLCs too, Wipeout HD, which adds 8 more tracks, and Wipeout Fury, which adds 8 more tracks, totaling a number of 26 tracks if you have both DLCs installed. Not bad. It almost reaches the record holder, Wipeout Pure, that has 32 tracks when you have all DLCs installed. And if we are at tracks, I also have to point out that a big part of the tracks are recycled, or better say remastered, because they have better graphics. If you've played previous Wipeout games, you'll feel very familiar in most of the tracks. But on a good side, you'll appreciate how good the graphics are when you remember how the tracks were in the older versions and how they are now. Also, sadly, or happily depending on you, a big part of the soundtrack was also recycled. As for the gameplay, you have 4 different event types. One is a standard race with power-ups, another one is a time trial, another one is a deathmatch on racetracks, and the last race type is the zone. In the zone, you can't brake. Your ship goes at full speed through this rainbow tracks, and you have to survive at least a certain number of zones in order to pass. You have to steer without taking damage in this game mode. In death matches, you don't get battle arenas. You race on normal race tracks and have to collect power-ups and damage your opponents. Racing on tracks is more difficult than in battle arenas since there are plenty of curves, both up and down and sideways, which makes aiming at an opponent difficult. As for the power-ups, you get stuff like cannons, rockets, plasma guns, leeches with which you can drain your opponent's shield and replenish yours. You get turbo, autopilot, which are very useful, and you can deploy mines. As for the difficulty, don't worry about it. I've heard some people complain that the game is too fast to process. I do agree that the game gets fast later in the game, but it's nothing you can't handle. You will repeat the same tracks until you know them by muscle memory. You start slow and progressively get faster and faster races. I wouldn't call myself a hardcore gamer, I consider myself more of a casual speedrunner. So yeah, even if the game looks too fast, it isn't that challenging, unless you want the elite rank. If you want the highest ratings, then the game is nail-bitingly difficult. So it has that nice curve for everyone. If you're a casual gamer, you can pass the races without getting frustrated. And if you're a challenge-seeking individual, you can try beating the game on Elite. Overall, I like the game. It takes you around 5 hours to finish the campaign. The game had multiplayer back in the day. Now the servers are down, but in the multiplayer you could do what you did in the single player, but the opponents weren't bots, they were real people. That's the difference between single player and multiplayer. You don't get different game modes there. So yeah, Wipeout 2048 is one of the best PlayStation Vita titles. It's in the same league as Uncharted Golden Abyss, Killzone Mercenary or Tearaway. I recommend you to try it.